what's up there, Kisami? Tom and Zeus. We have another episode of Shout It Out Loudcast, episode 53. We're calling this one the Eric Carr story inside the tail of the fox. Tom, how are you?
What's up, my friend? That's a long episode topic title, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, DVD review time.
That's right. Yep. We're kicking off 2020 with our favorites. An album last week, a DVD this week.
Yeah. I'm excited to break this one down, too.
Yep.
But other than that, how's life?
Well, my house is like a friggin' TB ward right now. My wife is sick, and she's never sick.
My wife is sick. My wife is sick. And you talking about the coupons? What can I do for you?
She can't even chew popcorn.
That's the one where he does the pizza bomb. Go to bomb that place. Yeah, good luck saying that nowadays on the phone.
Oh God.
Yeah.
We'll
everybody's sick.
And then my son is starting to feel like shit too, and I'm not feeling whatever. Everybody at work is sick of everything. Sick. I tell you.
Yeah, you're gonna jinx me. I'm feeling fine, and I love it.
I love it.
Yeah. Still mid hockey season, so got that going.
Yeah,
Lots of fun there.
Yeah. Patriots shit the bed there, so now it's all Bruins all the time for you.
Yeah, Bruins. Yeah, we got some Celtic stuff. They're doing pretty well.
Yep.
But don't you just love all these people that like, yeah, this is Tom Brady watching the playoffs. Dude, are you like seriously? Nobody, like anti-New England, nobody can sit back and joke about, we could do that fucking, how many times do you guys for the last 20 years? And you guys want to sit there and talk about, Brady, yeah, you didn't win. Oh.
They just love to see them just go down, and it's the same thing. If we were if the shoe was on the other foot, it'd be like, oh, thank God, after 20 years they're just out of it. But
the difference is for a team like the Yankees that we always hate because we're Red Sox fans.
Yeah,
the Yankees outspent everybody. It wasn't like baseball is like a one-man team. Like they have Jeter, and Jeter's the greatest player.
Right.
So the greatest player gives them championships. Where if that was the case, even us Red Sox fans, most of us never hated Jeter.
No, I kind of did.
I didn't. No one really gave him shit and stuff, except that one time we made that catch, and then after he caught it, he jumped into the crowd and acted like, back.
He took a terrible I took a terrible tumble into the third base.
So the Pats' excellence is Belichick and Brady. You know what I mean? It's two guys.
But Belichick is so hateable if you're not a Patriots fan. And people think Brady is a cheater and a douche and all that stuff. So I could see why somebody from not here, they just get, I don't know, fuck them. Who cares?
Yeah, you mean like when they beat the 07 when they were beating up on the Redskins by like 45 points. You got Brady hucking it up to Randy Moss in the fourth quarter and a minute left. What are you doing that for? Are you trying to rub it into Coach Gibbs?
Yes.
Just playing. We're just playing. Fucking asshole.
Yeah, well that's what could happen next year, but I don't know. Who knows? We'll see.
All right. Enough football talk. What's going on in Kiss World?
Kiss World right now, they're on a break. So they are on a break until they come back to us in a few weeks, February 1st, Manchester, New Hampshire. So they're not really doing anything. Quiet for both of them. When I say both of them, I mean Paul and Gene, because they're the only ones that are really on social media. But they're hawking their products, their Puma gear. Oh yeah, and Paul's warning us about fake news and global climate change. But settle down. Why don't you? You know what to do? Why don't you put out those Australian fires with your fucking Puma jumpsuits?
What did he say in our friggin' thing? We got climate change.
Yeah, We got climate change. We got global warming. Settle down, Stanley the parrot.
First of all, get that ridiculous hat off your fucking head in all these pictures. You look like an idiot with it. What is with that Ranger Rick hat he wears all the time? It looks like, what's it from, the Urban Sombrero? It looks like the Urban Sombrero from the Peterman catalog.
Yeah, and then he looks like, but between that hat,
surprise, Elaine.
And when he has those shoes on and that fanny pack and that hat, it's like that episode where Mel Torme thinks Kramer is like a special needs person. So what the fuck?
Is that when Jimmy punched him in the mouth?
Yeah, Jimmy doesn't like that.
Down goes Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy really likes Elaine. Oh man.
Anyways. Yeah, they got that going on. You got their opening act is starting to open their act. Want to talk about that?
Oh boy. It's a big one. So David Lee Roth, we're recording on Thursday, January 9th. David Lee Roth kicked off his Las Vegas residency set last night, and my God, if you haven't seen the YouTube videos, just be warned, because it was just not good. It was just not good. And I don't know what I was expecting, but I don't think I was expecting what I saw. Couple things here. So he comes out 65 years old. This is the article from Ultimate Classic Rock. He missed notes, cues, occasionally missed entire verses, and said, quote, "I forgot the fucking words." Okay. Thank you, David. But here's the interesting thing. So we don't have to talk about his performance, which was not good, but I'm still excited to see him. Who knows? It'll be fun. But a couple things I wanted to talk to you about, Zeus, get your opinion here. So his set list was 15 songs long.
I know.
Okay. He did a bunch of songs from Van Halen and a handful of David Lee Roth solo material. Mm-hmm. 15 songs. Okay. That is the equivalent of when we saw, you remember when we saw Kiss and Def Leppard and they split the bill?
Mm-hmm.
Is Kiss, like, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist here, but I'm just wondering, is Kiss going to shorten their set list?
No way. He's doing a Vegas residency. He has to have that many songs. I think it's better for David Lee Roth to have a shorter set, he'll have more energy, can hit the notes as best as he can.
He can't hit anything.
He can't hit anything. Doesn't sound like he's doing any notes. But it's just funny. So he's got bitty 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 bop, bitty bitty bop, just a gigolo, but he doesn't have Yankee Rose.
Nope. And he ends with Jump. Oh, well, again, this is the Vegas set list. So you think this Vegas set list you don't think he's going to do 15 songs when he opens up for Kiss?
Oh, absolutely not. No way.
Okay.
There's no a little ain't enough either.
No, there's no ladies' night in Buffalo.
Ooh, you got Bruce Smith and who else was on that team back then?
Fred Smirlis.
Fred Smirlis. The chicks look like Fred Smirlis in Ladies' Night in Buffalo. Cornelius Bennett.
Yeah, that's right. What they used to call him, Biscuit? That was his nickname?
No, I think that was Cedric Maxwell.
No, that was Cornbread.
We're getting our bakery products wrong for our athletes. Oh my God.
Oh, I don't know. I'm honestly, I started looking at this. I'm like, shit. Because then I started getting like conspiracy theory. I'm like, shit, is Kiss going to mix up their entire show? Are they going to change the set list? Are they going to shorten it and let David Lee Roth open up and play long? I don't know.
You know what's funny? I saw someone put a poll out earlier today on Twitter. Whose voice it was like prefaced with like whose voice is handling it, like meaning they all suck.
Yeah.
It was Paul Stanley, Vince Neil, and David Lee Roth. Paul Stanley was winning it by like 75%.
Oh yeah. Oh God. Look, I know people tease Paul and stuff, but if you watched those David Lee Roth videos, it's like karaoke night at like the fucking Kowloon. I mean, he's fucking guy can like, I don't know.
Bozo.
Yeah.
Anything else going on over there, Kiss?
No, not really. No, like I said, they're just taking a break until we get to see the first show next couple weeks.
Right.
Yes. Now, in other news,
Okay.
this is not really Kiss the band news,
Okay.
but this is like some fun social media news.
Okay.
So recently we have been talking about the hilarious Twitter account known as Paul Stanley. PAWL Stanley. Well,
yes.
Rest in peace, Paul Stanley on Twitter.
Yeah.
And some breaking news this week. We found out that the man behind Paul Stanley was Baco from Cobras and Fire podcast, which is a great podcast. And if you haven't checked out, you got to check those guys out. Hilarious. So that was kind of, I don't know. I felt like it was kind of like finding out there was no Santa Claus. I'm like, damn. I don't want to go.
Then I was at work. Yeah, but I was at work today.
I know what you're going to say.
I got a Facebook friend request. And
Yep.
I was like, and there he is. He's back from the dead.
That's right. He's back on Facebook. Yep, Twitter is gone. He's back and alive and kicking on Facebook. So
Live to win, Tom.
That's right. So Baco was saying on the recent episode of Cobras and Fire that Twitter shut down the account because of it was like, it was impersonating. It was an impersonation type account, which clearly you could tell. I mean, give me a
satire. I don't understand.
He thinks, and if you listen to the episode, he kind of explains it a little bit more detail. He thinks that maybe Vinnie Vincent may have been behind it getting shut down because he recently did a tweet. He recently did a tweet, like kind of joking about something with Vinnie and Paul with Vinny's Christmas event or something. I don't know. It was funny, but you're right. I got home today. I checked Facebook. I see a friend request from Paul Stanley. Everyone's like, Paul's back. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. But I got a kick out of that. That was kind of funny to see.
Yeah, I would have guesstimated that it would be more Paul that got him kicked off of Twitter.
Could be. Yeah, could be.
Right?
Could be. So maybe that's what. Maybe that's why. So maybe that's why our friend Stuart Trunk has been laying low. Maybe he's afraid he'll get himself shut down. Because I haven't seen a lot from Stuart Trunk lately. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with that one.
Yeah, there was an attempt at an ace one recently. And a couple other ones out there, but
God, that one out there that we always talk about, who's impersonating a certain podcast host.
Who made like the head like a hairy ball sack. Right? That's how I would describe it.
Yeah. Brutal. Yeah, that's brutal. We won't mention any names, but
yeah, but like
I mean anybody out there who's on Twitter. I swear to God, half of Twitter is parody accounts.
Yeah.
It's gotta be. It's ridiculous.
You know what I love is those fake asshole trade deadlines for any of the four major sports that create fucking profiles that look identical to the fucking people.
Oh yeah.
Breaking news. Wayne Gretzky traded for Bobby Hull. Fuck, Gretzky got traded. Like, you know what I mean? People are like, oh, it's a fake. You remember how people used to fall for that all the time in the beginning without the blue check marks? By the way, it's not blue. It's white. The check mark. The surrounding is blue.
Oh, here we go. So I saw. Speaking of, it's like I saw somebody created a fake Adam Schefter Twitter page, and everything looked exactly the same.
Exactly.
And it was like, this just in. Belichick leaves to go coach Cleveland. It was like, what the fuck?
And they build it up for a while to get enough followers that people fall for it.
Yep. That's funny.
Fucking idiots.
Funny shit.
Oh man, shit. That's but that's social media for you. You know, what are you going to say?
Dangerous. Yeah, it's dangerous. You got to use your brain when
danger
you're on
me is danger you. It's danger us.
That's right. And speaking of that, listen to Paul Stanley. Check out his social media because he's warning all of us about fake news.
in his urban sombrero. White powder, Elaine. White powder.
Oh, God.
He's warning Elaine about her poppy intake. And
oh, yeah.
Remember Peterman and the heroin shit?
Yeah, he goes to friggin'
Kramer. He thinks Kramer's like trying to sell drugs to Elaine, and he fucking beats Kramer up and he throws him out.
Yeah, it's the low flow shower episode because Kramer's hair's all fucked up, and he needs to go to Elaine's to use her shower because the pressure's better. And Peterman thinks he's all strung out.
Not from the footage I seen. Anyways, you ready to move this thing along? Oh no! We didn't even get to this.
What?
So, last week. Debut episode for season 2.
Yes.
Our best numbers yet to date.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody, for that. That's fantastic. Excellent. Good way to kick off the year.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody.
I don't know if you guys just kind of missed us, even though we didn't go away, or the topic, which we kind of wanted to open season 2 with a bang.
Yep.
And like I said, I don't think too many people did the debut album. Lot of feedback on it. Favorite songs, favorite not songs. I had a few people actually say they like Kissing Time. Like, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of varying opinions of what was their favorite song, but when we did our polls on both of them, what won?
So on Twitter, the poll was a little bit closer. Black Diamond ended up winning with 32%. And then you had right behind it with Deuce and Strutter at 26 and 24%. Cold Gin came in last. There were some write-in votes. Some people with Firehouse and 100,000 Years. On Facebook, Black Diamond won a little bit more handily. It was 58% to 42% with a lot of write-ins as well. Yeah. But it's not surprising. I mean, everybody knows Black Diamond is just ridiculously awesome. So. Now, we did some polls today. We missed a couple weeks with the Tom and Zeus polls. The holidays got in the way, so we put those back in. And kind of topical, and we did Eric Carr versus Eric Singer. Who do you prefer? Mm-hmm. Now, Zeus predicted this, and I'm not surprised, but Eric Carr is winning in a landslide on both Twitter and Facebook. But what I found interesting, particularly on Facebook, were the comments from people. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are very passionate about each of these drummers. A lot of people were picking Eric Carr with their heart. Like, they love that he came in, he was the Fox and everything. A lot of people are saying that Eric Singer maybe is the better technical drummer, which I think he is. But a lot of people just saying they just loved what Eric brought to the band and the era that he covered. So, people were selecting Eric Carr, but a lot of people, there were some people who was like, too tough. I don't know who to pick. I love them both. People were saying hands down Eric Singer. Other people were saying hands down Eric Carr. So the voting was definitely slanted, but the comments were interesting. So,
yeah, I like that. Obviously, there's some drummers out there, and they picked up on things about the technical aspects of their drumming, not just who was cooler, who was funner. Who looked better, who was a better fit, and who is Cheater Chris versus.
Well, it's funny that you
Fox,
say it,
but some people didn't even bring that up, which I like. That a lot of well-behaved Facebook group messages when I expect, probably because we didn't share it to all the fucking toxic Facebook groups. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, I was just going to say it. So there's a couple groups that we follow, but that we don't really share a lot of things with because of the toxicity. But even so, you're right. I didn't see one comment about, Eric Singer wearing the Catman makeup. Everybody's comments were based on the technical ability to drum, or what they brought to the band, or I love Revenge, or I love Creatures of the Night, or whatever. So that was refreshing, to say the least, to hear like a good debate. So I like that. So
no, yeah, I agree with you. I was very surprised. I thought we'd get a bunch of that shit. So
me too. I was kind of bracing myself for it.
Yeah. So anyways, 2020 started off the bank. We like to hope to continue it going. We have a lot of exciting things coming up. And it's starting to bottleneck with all these great shows we've got planned ahead. But we thought we would start something different. Yeah. And this is something different.
Yep. And before we get into the Tale of the Fox, let's take a quick break here, and let's go look for the Fox in the Hen House, shall we?
And I was praying for you, Tom. I was holding on to God's unchanging hands because he helped Joshua fight the battle of Jericho. Yes. He helped Daniel get out of the lion's den. He helped Gilligan get off the island. Sorry.
Wonderful. A
little bit of coming to America, like rabbit hole YouTube videos. And I think Reverend Brown is, oh my God. I can't get enough of our Arsenio performance. I thought that's the funniest thing. Girl, you look so good. Somebody wanted to put you on a plate and
slap you up with a biscuit. Donations. Goddamn, I thought it was a trash.
Tall motherfucker.
Oh man, you lying. You never met no Martin Luther the King.
Martin Luther the King.
The King.
Oops,
that's right. Somebody else.
That's the best part. So for some reason, walk around. I turn around and say, Dr. King. He punches up. Oops, I thought you were somebody else. Why is Martin Luther King going around punching people?
Implying that Martin Luther King is just throwing haymakers at people down the street.
Oops, I thought you were somebody else. Dr. King.
Who do you think I was? Oh.
Lying. You ain't never met Martin Luther King. I'm telling you, I got fucking stuck in that rabbit hole. Let's segue over to the topic this week. The subject we're going to talk about is our man Eric Carr and the DVD, the Eric Carr story, Inside the Tale of the Fox. Me and Tom both watched this again. And, wow, where do we begin, Tom?
First of all, this is a deep cut for me because I was not familiar with this at all. And we'll talk about why a lot of people probably haven't heard of this and probably why we're not familiar with it. So the DVD is available on Amazon, but it's also streaming for anybody out there that has Amazon Prime. It's available on there. Came out in 2000. It's about 90 minutes long. It's regarded as the official Eric Carr DVD. I don't know how you want to cover this here because I don't know if we want to give opinions or kind of break down the DVD or how we want to go here. So
I think we should just talk about what's on there and go through it chronologically, what they were doing. And then afterwards, maybe go through our opinions and what we thought. Now, again, as always, when we watch these, unless we will do some running commentary on some videos coming up. But usually with these videos, me and Tom watch it on our own, write down our own notes, don't discuss it with each other.
Nope.
Let's save it for the episode. Save it. Here we go. And this is, I don't know what he's going to say. He doesn't know what I'm going to say. So we'll see what happens. But I found it interesting. You start this video and the advertisement for Rockology comes on in Union's album, including Bruce Kulick's song that he actually sings, Dear Friend, a tribute to Eric Carr. Right? Yep. What do you think?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, clearly, as we get into this DVD, there's a lot of the Kulicks in this. So, I can see that. It was produced and directed by a gentleman named Jack Edward Sawyers. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not familiar with him. I don't know what his background is. I don't know if he's a family friend of the Carrs or if he's I don't know enough about him to know where his angle was on putting this DVD together. But he's the gentleman behind it. So,
and then the associate producer, I think that's Eric's sister, Loretta, and Bruce.
Yes, Loretta Caravello and Bruce Kulick. Yep.
Yep. Internet special thanks to Kiss Asylum and KissShop.com.
Yep.
So it's, does its best to keep clear of Kiss stuff as much as possible. And it's interesting. They kind of tiptoe on that fine line of what they can do and say. You can tell, but, they start, it's like a documentary type style, home video stuff, some old clips, and they start with interviews with his parents, talking about Eric growing up.
Yeah, who I have to admit just seem like, honestly, like the nicest people, the most regular, down-home, nice people that you'd ever. I mean, I enjoyed listening to them talk, especially the dad. You could just tell. I mean, if anything that you get from this video, we hear the stories about how Eric Carr was, regarded as being like the kindest, nicest, funniest man around, and you definitely get that from this DVD, especially that introduction, the talking with his mom and dad and everything. Just really nice to see.
Yeah, I would say that you can tell that he comes from a nice, warm family, and that's where you get it. The mom's talking about a young, energetic Eric who always had a problem with tapping his pencils at school.
Yep. And
she would notice it at home, and then his teachers would say the same thing, so that he always wanted to, get into drums. And that it's funny, he said that his grandfather was a musician, played, I think, the trombone or something. And he was like trying to teach Eric that, and he kept saying to him, like, I just really want to do the drums. And they, obviously, Eric, good thing he did go to the drums. And what's great is the story about his first drum set. Did you get that? How he got his first drum set?
Yeah.
You want me to tell the story?
No, you can. You can go ahead. We can talk about it, but go ahead.
All right. So his dad saw some like music guy store, and they did movers. They were like movers and I think like repair guys.
Yep.
And he couldn't, money's tight. And he saw a drum set that Eric wanted. So what he did was he went to the store and he offered them to help move the stuff if Eric could get one of those drums, the drum set. And that's what they did. And both Eric and his father helped move. Now if that doesn't get you all like, I don't know, tugging at your heartstrings about what a great dad and all that, and the bonding between the father and son to do that. That's just awesome. I never knew that story about it, but look for it in the beginning. It's really a great story.
Yeah, you could tell the sign of the times, about, a family that didn't have a ton of money, wanted to do right by their son. And, the father was literally willing to do, physical labor, for his son to get him what he wanted. Right. Like I said before, the relationship with the mom and dad just very, very sweet and cool throughout the whole thing. So then it talks about Eric just really, really just being into the drums. He started out with even before he had that drum set that his dad got for him, he had like one drum that he would just kind of bang on. You could just tell from the get, he had it like in his blood that he was meant to play the drums.
Yep. And he grew up like a lot of kids idolizing the Beatles. They even have a video of Eric's first drums. He did this like 1967. And I was like, and they had it and they were playing the video. And I was even joking. I was going to say to you, Tom, it sounds even better than Peter Chris's right now.
Oh. No, it's right. I mean, 1967 for a kid that didn't really know what he was doing. Technically, he sounded pretty damn good at the time.
Absolutely. So he had first bands, the Allures, the Cellarman, which you can see those old clip videos. He got the Cellarman on his drum set, and he was like, I don't know, putting all sorts of like shit on his vans and clips, and they were talking about him and he getting pulled over by the cops. He had like a fucking flower power van or something.
Yep.
And they made him take it off. But I find that's like, like the good local neighborhood kid done good,
Yeah. And I mean, like everybody in that era, his when he was with that band, the Cellarman, very, very, very Beatlish. Like
yeah,
to the
I had
extreme,
that down too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that boy's got talent.
He's good and terrible. So what I didn't know is that whole part where he played in some sort of like kind of like an R&B kind of disco-ish kind of band for a little bit.
Yes.
And that there was that fire that he was involved in some like, I don't know, it was like nightclub or a club. And there was a fire, and like because his mom and them said that they had always taught him about, warning him to be like careful and always look for exits and stuff. Like, sounds like, wow, that is amazing. And they talked about it. This isn't like, somebody fell down and broke their ankle. 24 people died.
Yep.
In that fire. And Eric got out and got some of his band members out and helped them out. That's amazing.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable. That was an unbelievable story. I mean, to think that a young kid going through something like that, and you kind of have that survivor's guilt, that type of emotional response to something like that, and that's a lot for a kid that age to deal with.
Yeah, I can only think about what we could have been in almost, and that is in Rhode Island.
Yep. Oh God, right? if we ever had tickets, if we knew about that, that would have been normal for us. Absolutely, no doubt. The station nightclub and that horrible tragedy with the Great White. Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Right down the neighborhood.
Yep.
So then they just like go a little bit far where Eric's friend shows something in the paper about Kiss auditioning for drummers, and then they cut to what I was not expecting, and that was Bill Aucoin.
Yep. That was cool. That was very cool to see, because Bill Aucoin's not in any, Kiss DVDs, because I think they all came out. Bill Aucoin passed actually not too long ago. I don't think he did, because this came out in 2000. But all those other Kiss DVDs, you don't see a lot of Bill Aucoin talking. So it was an interview style Bill Aucoin, and there's no mention of him. Like if you look at the box, like you had no idea he was going to pop up. That's what I mean. Yeah. And he's featured in this pretty prominently, talking pretty much exclusively about Eric. Just on and pretty proud of you. Pretty proud of you. Pretty proud of you. It's very nice. Yeah. So Bill talks about, the beginning of, this is when the story pivots from Eric's childhood and life growing up into the beginning of his Kiss, trying out, hundreds of different drummers. He told his parents that he was, auditioning for the band, the story about how he got it, how he was selected to be in the band. And I thought one of my favorite stories, getting back to Eric's mom and dad, was when, Eric was like, you can't tell anybody that I'm in the band. You can't tell anybody that your son is in the band. So they would go to see Kiss in concert, and people would be like, what are these two old people doing at a Kiss show? And they were like, oh yeah, we like Kiss. Like they had to like play along. They couldn't tell people, until finally they had no choice but to kind of tell people like, oh yeah, our son's the drummer. You could just tell, just two proud parents, just regular people. It was cool. Yeah, and then one was a friend of theirs noticed them. What are you guys doing here? And he's like, one of our daughters is here. Is a fan of Kiss. Yep. Yeah. Yep. That was great. But what I also liked is they got into how he got the job. And Bill was saying that he auditioned like 50 drummers or so. Yep. And Bill was talking about Eric basically got the job. He was a good drummer and had a good audition, but that his personality, he just fit in. And he, after dealing probably with a lot of the
pissing and moaning of Peter. They just wanted a guy that'll just do his share. And, of course, Bill Coyne brings up, he wasn't a full member. He was hired gun. But, they don't want to be around what they'll be their next hire, a pain in the ass hired gun, Vinny.
Yep.
And they basically talked about the fact that that's what really got him the job. And then they cut over to, I wasn't expecting to see him show up.
Me neither. Holy shit.
Mr. In the News himself, Bob Kulick, who looks really good in that episode, in this video.
Yeah,
healthy and happy.
Yeah, he looks healthy, happy. That's all I'll say. Yeah, but here's the interesting thing, and forgive me for not being maybe the insider expert that I was. But I'm wondering if this was if Bob was featured in this DVD because of his brother Bruce. Because as Bob is talking, I'm like, why are you in this DVD?
No, part of the Kiss family.
Right? No, I know, but I'm like, it's just odd to just see you be.
Obviously, it's Bruce. Why else would he be there? Look at some of them. I hate to say this, but look at some of the has-beens in this fucking video.
Who? Fred Corey from Cinderella?
But you know what I mean?
Dana Strum?
I'm just saying, Bob Kulick is part of the Kiss family.
Right. No,
Bob Kulick was part of Killers.
No, I know.
You worked with him. Right, but it's interesting because Bob is throwing out his Paul relationship. Everything's out because, I was with Paul. I was hanging out with Paul. Paul showed me a picture of this guy, and I was like, okay. He's like, Paul says, what do you think? And I'm like, I don't know. Can he play? So meaning, there was the image part. There was, is he a good guy part? He obviously could play, so they're like, yeah, it works. He fits. And then they talked a little bit about the big bird, the chicken, and then he became the fox. I wish they went into more detail about the fox and the costume and the makeup. Well, they went into it a little bit, but they didn't get into too much.
There's a lot of Kiss things that I think we wish they got into a little bit more of on this DVD.
Yeah, and for some reason they didn't.
Yeah, and that was one of them. They touched on it briefly. Like you said, they kind of briefly talked about, the hawk or whatever the hell it was, and then they settled on the fox. Yeah, a little bit too brief for my liking, but that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, my first thing is right in the beginning, parents seem like they can't say anything about Eric and Kiss. That's what I wrote. And but they did talk about so when they saw him, when you were mentioning them, they saw Eric play. It was on the Palladium, which was the only one they did for Unmasked. Yep. Eric's introduction. Yep. They saw that, and then they obviously hit overseas and left and continued to tour on Unmasked. Or they probably went like, "Oh, this album is horrible. What is this?
Stop it! Stop that! Come on now."
Yeah, and they different clips. Fred Coury from Cinderella. I want to grow my hair like Eric. Dana Strum. Eric's a good guy, down to earth. Bruce starts talking about him. And it was funny because he says, Bruce said he met Eric when they were recording Creatures. Because, he says, my brother. So it was, seems like Bob was kind of always hanging around, helping them out a little. Because they were still in that limbo between a real permanent from Ace to Bruce. In between there, Bob is always kind of helping Kiss out and being around as their buddy.
Maybe that's what led to the current Bob Kulick we have right now in 2020.
Yeah, apparently. And then they cut to Carrie Stevens.
Oh, holy shit. God damn.
She looks like a fucking combo of Cindy Crawford and Kathy Ireland in their prime.
Absolutely stunning. She looks like a kid in this video. Granted, it's 20 years old, so wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just unbelievable.
Oof. Watch the video just for that. Adam Mitchell's written a bunch of songs with Kiss. He's in there talking. And then, there's clips of Eric with his parents and home videos talking and stuff. The only thing I can say is like, it must be like what people think when they hear me and you talk with that, accent that just they don't recognize, but everyone else can hear that accent. Right?
Yes.
You're talking. You joined this band Kiss. I say I never heard of them.
Yeah. His father like reminded me of like Frankie Pantangeli.
Chi,
La Porta. But yeah, I mean, the accent, and again, like we said earlier, there's a lot of home video footage because I don't think they could get their hands on any other kind of video footage for this. We'll talk about that later. Just a lot of day in the. It really is an Eric Carr story, like a very personal video.
Fucked it up. You said fucking what's his name, and now all I can think of, your father did business with Hyman Roth. Your father respected Hyman Roth, but your father never trusted Hyman Roth or a Sicilian messenger boy, Johnny Ola.
I'm sorry.
In my head. Get it out. One of my oh my God.
Well, real quick, if we can go off onto a detour real quick, because we went from Eric Carr to Frankie Pantangeli. So my wife is watching TV the other night, and some network she's flipping through was showing old episodes of Magnum PI. Okay. And the actor who played Frankie Pantangeli was a character on it. So I come upstairs, I'm like, it's friggin' Frankie Five Angels from The Godfather. What's he doing on Magnum?
He's looking for Chi-Chi.
Exactly.
Dope.
Oh, my God.
And they leave the gambling for last.
Oh, here we go. Here comes the Godfather podcast. See, we're screwed now.
Now my mind is all on that fucking monologue that he does.
Okay. All right. Switch gears.
To Michael Corleone, right? Familia Corleone. Well, I can't say it because there's a lot of ethnic slurs in his monologue.
Don't do that.
What's a clean monologue that he went on? He did a little.
Well, the best one is when he's drunk, when he's talking to Michael. That's the best one.
I know, but I'm just thinking, which part of it did he cut out that he's not calling Hyman Roth some ethnic slur?
Oh, yeah. He was like half drunk half the movie, so everything he said was a slur. All right, let's get back. Let's go. Oh, God. Here we go. My fault. I take full responsibility for this.
And he's got those. What are the brothers? What are the brothers again?
Oh, fuck. Oh my God.
They're backed up by that in Miami. The Rosado brothers.
Yeah, that's it. The Rosados. Yes. Oh my God.
All right, go
okay.
Ahead. Jesus Christ, Michael. This is a straight thing. I don't got your brain for big business deals.
Oh, here we go.
All right. Hey, David, Zanet, come on, buddy. Jump on in here, buddy.
Come on, yeah. I am Enzo, the baker.
Oh, man.
All right.
Frankie Pantangeli. Because his father's Frankie Pantangeli.
Now I just
nice
ruined
Italian man.
Now I just ruined this DVD for anybody who's going to go watch it now.
Like someone's going to turn off this fucking podcast and put on The Godfather too. Go ahead, Frankie.
No, so we were just talking about how there's just a lot of home videos here talking, just everyday life behind the scenes stuff. And, like I said earlier, before we went on to our Godfather rant, we'll talk about a little bit of the details as we move on at the end of the video. So.
But one little Kiss tidbit was that Bruce said that Eric didn't get The Elder.
Yes, and this was
too much into it, but Bruce brought that up, that he felt like he was coming into the band, but we all know that. Everybody was saying that. Ace and him both were thinking that.
But it was interesting.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, and it was interesting how Bruce said that Eric met with the band and Bill Aucoin and said, this is a mistake.
Yeah.
So that's when I heard that, I'm like, okay, maybe we're going to turn the corner and get into some really deep stuff here. But the DVD is kind of hit or miss with some of the Kiss stuff, and they didn't. That was kind of the comment by Bruce, and then it kind of just shifted gears again.
Yeah, and then they go into Mark Slaughter pops in, and Bill O'Coin comes back and talks about Eric's smile. It's great, and the thing that got me at this point, though, Tom. There's a part in the home video, and this was when it really hit me, and it felt like, oh, man. It was so sad. Eric was showing his thumbs and how banged up they were from drumming all this time. Yep. And then he goes into, this is Eric on the home video. Oh, man, look at this. When I'm 50, I'm going to be a twisted wreck. But I do it for you because I love you. Like he's talking to the fan. And I'm like, oh, God bless you, man. I wish you made it to 50.
I know. I said the same thing. No, you're right. I said the same thing. I'm watching the video and I'm like, shit. I'm like, this poor guy doesn't even know
what's coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It is a sad video because he is, everybody in this video, they focus a lot on Bill O'Coin, Carrie Stevens, and Bruce. And they just can't stop talking.
Bob.
Bob's in there too. No, Bob is in there too, and they just can't stop talking about just what a great, and we've heard Paul and Gene talk about this too. A prankster, a fun guy, great sense of humor, love to goof around and fuck around and do silly things with the band and with his friends. And they really get into that here. Unfortunately, they don't show any of the interactions with the band. We'll talk about that a little bit at the end. But yeah, I mean, if you're a Kiss fan, and obviously if you're listening to us and if you're watching this movie, this DVD, you're a Kiss fan. It is emotional seeing it because he just really was just a great guy and a great drummer and a great bandmate, and it's just it's a tragedy,
Bruce talks about Eric, how multifaceted he was. He could play the drums, guitar, the bass, sing, write music. Yep. And then they showed the clips of him when he first joined Kiss, and Ace is there. And the Ace, he had to wear diapers when he came on.
Oh, I know. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, Ace? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, settle down. I don't even get it.
And then, Bruce goes way overboard, and so does Bob. I shouldn't say overboard, like, goes on and on about how Eric was different than most rock stars, where people are done from the shows, they go to their rooms, they go hang out. Like, Eric wanted to be with fans. He would open all his fan mail, answer all the fan mail. He'd hang out in the lobbies. He'd hang out with people after the concerts. He'd want to talk to the fans, and that he was sincere about it. And Bob Kulick would say, oh, there's actually a nice guy here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
But, and then, there's more clips of him, and, they hinted at his, obviously you can tell the New York accent, but they also hinted at a little bit of his frustration about, like, whether he played or could sing or get some of his songs on.
Yeah, there was some interesting comments there where, one of the things I found interesting that Bob said, and I'm wondering if this was Bob's sentiment or if, like, who kind of came, like, this feeling came from, but Bob said having Eric and the band proved that someone in Kiss could be replaced. And I thought that was I thought that was an interesting way to put it, meaning, like, did they think that was impossible at one point?
What I think was happening is that Bob was hinting at all the session players that Kiss always had.
Yeah.
And he was joking about himself being on all these records, other people, nobody else. And you can't have it. It has to be seen as Ace, Peter, Paul, and Gene. It has to be seen. And now, like, no, you can replace somebody. You can say, you're not playing this very well. Let's put somebody that just be in the band and do it every time. So I think that's what he's hinting at. And, I wish they kept that the same way. I hate that I'm not the biggest Kiss Wikipedia nerd that knows, but that one note in that one part in that one song on that one album, Johnny Coolballs played, right? And everyone's, well, this guy played this part. This guy played like I wish it was just they played on this, but Ace was hospitalized and this guy did this thing and that's it. Not every single song, even when they had healthy members. Yeah, but this guy came in and did the solo. Why? Yeah.
No, I know it happens. A lot of bands do that. So that's not just a Kiss thing, but there were a couple other interesting comments. And again, this is when I thought that maybe we were going to get into some dramatics here on the DVD, where like you had mentioned earlier, I think it was Bruce who said that Eric wanted to contribute a little bit more to the band in terms of writing, but he felt stifled. Bruce mentioned that at times Eric was not happy, sometimes being in the band, and he would not talk to them sometimes. So I was like, okay, those are the parts where I'm like, okay, this is some interesting shit. Let's get into it a little bit more, expound on that. And they didn't. They would just pivot and just turn and talk about something else.
He actually tried to minimize that.
They did, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he tried to say, "Oh yeah, people say they talk, but no, I mean it happens." There's a lot of the home video stuff that they constantly were showing. Eric playing jokes, backstage, home videos, talking, shooting while somebody was shooting hoops, some keyboard player for the band. Yep. There's other clips of him talking about the products in the dressing room. And then there's a great clip of him talking about the Porsche that they gave him when he joined Kiss. And it's constantly costing money for him to fix that he doesn't even use it really. And it's just a friggin' money pit for him. Yep. That was great. And then Bruce was like, I wish they gave me a Porsche when I joined the band. And then he talked about his he had a nice little side gig where he was doing those Rockheads cartoons. He was a great little artist, it looked like.
Yep, they should. Yeah, I didn't know anything about that, but they talked about that. Carrie talked a lot about that because that's kind of prime time when she was with Eric. And how he was really into that with the artistically and story wise, that was kind of his little pet project that he had on the side. So that was interesting to see. They had a little bit from I don't know if it was one of the guys from Slaughter. It might have been Mark Slaughter himself when he talks about how Eric was key in terms of helping them as become the opening act on the Hot in the Shade tour. Yeah,
and that's right. I skipped over that, and that it wasn't the Vinny connection. It was really Eric that was pushing this band that he was friends with them, and these guys, we should get them on our tour. And those guys were really, really thankful to Eric and all that he did. And it sounds like they were really felt that he was the catalyst to get him on, not Vinny. Yeah. Not a slight, let's fucking piss off Vinny, put Slaughter on,
Yeah, no, it's true. And then Bruce was kind of interesting and funny at the same time. He was talking about what everybody sees as Eric's massive drum set, and Eric is so small that when he would sit behind the drums, no one could see him. So one of Eric's famous thing, and it's on the cover of the DVD, is Eric would kind of stand up and kind of stand sometimes on the bass drum and kind of put his sticks up in the air and kind of get everybody's attention because he was such a tiny guy, especially behind that massive drum kit.
Yeah, and that's iconic. As much as I think of different things, I think of Eric Carr on those drums standing up, right?
And that's why I love the picture on the DVD cover is awesome. It's what a perfect iconic picture of Eric.
Yeah, it just breaks your heart looking at it. But there's a funny story of him hanging out with Gene, and then Diana Ross comes over and he was trying to do something. And he turned around and fucking elbowed her really hard in the fucking gunt or something like that. In her fupa.
Oh, God.
In her vagina gut.
The VG?
The biggest VG of all time had to be that Bill Parcells.
Bill Parcells, yeah.
He had the vagina gut going big time.
Oh, God.
The fupa? Vagina gut or the gun? I don't know which one I love better. I love all three of those. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, just back to Parcells. No one wore that better than Parcells in the 90s.
And those fucking New York Giants. Look at Parcells and Giants. And there's a photo of him, especially one of Bill Belichick and him walking. And their fucking shorts are so tiny. And their fucking balls hanging out of them. And Parcells has got the fucking gun in full swing. Oh, my God. Anyways, he elbows fucking Diana Ross in the gun. And, and he was the type that didn't want to go to her party. He was invited to that. She didn't care about that kind of stuff. Yep. He just wanted to be with regular people. He wasn't into the celebrity stuff. And, there's more videos of him with Carrie and their home stuff and them talking. It's kind of just, it's haunting. It's haunting because little do they know what's going to go ahead. And we all know what ends up happening, but and it's just like, you just want to be like, oh, can I go back in time and change things? How do we make it so he continues? And, there are videos. He looks happy and healthy, and it's in April. Yeah. And then we know what happens.
I hated watching some of that. And then they get to the God Gave Rock and Roll to You shoot, which would be the last time that Eric would perform with the band. And, they talk about the premiere for Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, which the song was part of the soundtrack, and how excited Eric was for that and how emotional that was, for him. And, it just, like you said, as a Kiss fan, or just, even as a friggin' human being, it just gets emotional. And then there was an interesting thing that I wasn't really aware of, that they began some early preparations on the Revenge album, and Eric was like, okay, let's go. And Bob Ezrin was like, Eric, just stop, rest, take care of yourself, monitor yourself. And
that's where I'm wondering, was it them? You want to do this video? Then you got to say it was Bob Ezrin, not Kiss, that said stay home.
Maybe. And we'll talk. We'll talk about that at the end. But yes, I know.
But then and then the narration goes, Eric Carr died November 24th peacefully. Like, you're like, what the fuck?
Yep.
You're like pissed off. You're like,
I know.
I know. You knew it was coming.
And then another interesting comment from our friend Bob Kulick. He says Eric will be remembered as one of the Kiss drummers, arguably the best one.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then, go ahead.
No, go finish.
I was just going to say, and then they get into the thing in Hollywood with the award with Eric Carr, and they present
an ace.
Yeah. So this is when I'm like, okay, I want the behind the scenes of this DVD, because they show the video of the awards being presented to Eric's mom and dad with Ace.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like a literal 6-second interview with Ace.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what is going on here?
This is 2000, Aces and Kiss. But Ace got that as a solo artist. But anyways, what I put that as, Ace looked normal and sounded normal. Totally. Like he didn't suffer from brain damage back then.
Oh, he looked good. For Ace.
He was talking about Eric is a good friend of mine. He sounded like a normal guy, not Eric Carr. He's a pretty good drummer. Wait a minute. What band was he in?
Yeah, well, don't forget, this was also 20 years ago, before his fucking brain was a puddle. So And then you had a little interesting, some good comments there about from Carmine Apiece.
Me and Tom have this I don't know what it is. We have this thing. If we just see him or hear his name, we just laugh.
Mustache. Vanilla Fudge?
It's the video from Bark at the Moon.
Oh, God, yes.
All of a sudden, they hit the drum, and then there's a close-up, and he's looking at the camera like, ooh. He's got his mustache. I got to get a clip of it. It is the fucking stupidest look. And that's all I think of Carmine Apiece. And if I just text Tom in the middle of the day a picture of that, Tom will die laughing.
Oh, yeah, it's perfect.
It's same here. Or if he just says, Carmine
Apiece, jelly roll. So they do a little bit with Carmine Apiece, because Carmine being a drummer, and this was another interesting thing. He's like, I was a friend of Eric. I wanted to put together, a video tribute for Eric, and Kiss said no.
Yeah,
couldn't
use the name.
couldn't use his name, and honestly, this video, I think because I got so emotionally attached to Eric during this video because it was such a personal video, I'm sitting there watching this video, and when Carmine Appice said that, I'm like, motherfucker, Paul and Gene really are fucking assholes. No, I honestly, and I wasn't even trying to say it like.
Or do you think they maybe said, "We'll do excuse me, Carmine will do a video for Eric Carr. We don't want no has-been mediocre talent act like yourself getting the Bullet Boys to fucking do one for him. Yeah. I'll get the talent."
Yeah.
I don't know.
It just was. When we wrap up the recap, we'll talk about all that. So
and then he says,
"Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead."
No, I was going to say. Then Bill says that they talked all the way to the end. Bill Coyne.
Yep. And
I was going to say, but I have one more thing I want to talk about the video. But did you have something else you wanted to say?
No, I was just going to talk about how Bruce added some comments about Carr Jam at the end of Revenge, and how Revenge was dedicated to the memory of Eric Carr. Mm-hmm. And then the video ends, kind of with like a little bit of a solo performance with Eric Carr, and he had those insane pads, those electronic pads.
Yeah,
that above him, that when he hit them, it kind of gave the feeling of like a bass or like a kind of like a little extra percussion.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting.
And I said,
go ahead.
He ends the video with the drum solo.
Yep.
And Eric standing, that iconic image of him on top of the drums.
Yep. And I also found out that portions of the DVD sales benefit the Eric Carr Foundation, which is cool. Yeah. So great guy. Everybody loves Eric Carr. So that being said, go ahead.
There's a couple other things like with the DVD itself. I think you saw the Amazon video. There's a couple, like in the old days of DVDs, you'd have to press the button and be a little story, and then press the button to play and go. So there's like a director thing, and it talks about it. And the director, Jack Edward, I think Sawyers, does say something like, with all the crap that I had to deal with getting this released, and I'm so happy that we got it re-released.
Wow.
He just, I put in parentheses crap, and crap I think was capitalized.
That's a shame.
Purpose.
Yep.
I think that's a fucking big time shot across the bow.
Oh, no doubt.
And then, there's a quick little biography on him. There's a music link to some of the songs. And we're going to do Rockology and other stuff at some point. We'll review Eric's solo album.
Oh, yeah.
And things like that down the line. I don't want to get too much into it. But what I want to get into, and Tommy wants to get into, is this specific video, whether it's to watch it, buy it, rent it.
Yep. So I was not very familiar with this before. I said I actually kind of stumbled upon this because when I go down the rabbit hole on Amazon Prime or on the Amazon shopping app, you look at Kiss stuff, and the next thing you know, so I'm like, holy shit, I've never heard of this. What is it about? So I'm like, okay, it's Kiss, it's Eric Carr. Let's watch it. Let's talk about it. I don't want to say I was disappointed. What I'm disappointed in as a Kiss fan is pretty much what you just said, Zeus, is that the director said of all the crap he went through. The fact that there is a 90-minute documentary called Inside the Tale of the Fox, the Eric Carr story, and there is no Paul, there is no Gene, there is no Kiss footage. There is minimal tiptoeing around his Kiss career. I think is just really unacceptable for me, and I think it really cements some of those things that people think about Paul and Gene. And I don't know this director and producer. I don't know what he tried to do. I don't know if maybe he didn't have the money to do what he wanted to do. But this is the only thing on Eric Carr. There's, in Extreme Close-Up, I know Paul and Gene briefly talk about
the book. This is the book.
Yep. Oh, no. I know. I know that. But I'm saying I know in Extreme Close-Up and some of the Kiss DVDs, they do briefly mention Eric Carr. But to have a 90-minute documentary on the guy's life, I would have liked a little bit more. And I know that the directors and the producers were, their hands were tied, legally speaking, on what they could do.
Yeah, I look. In the end, I'll tell you this. I would recommend this.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I believe that just those home videos, seeing Eric and his family are wonderful. If you are interested in that, if you're all about Kiss, the music and stuff, this isn't for you.
Exactly.
But if you like the band and want to see the behind the scenes, what people were like, there's no way you walk away from this without liking Eric Carr more, or wanting to buy his CD, or wanting to hear more of his story, or supporting him in his cause. No way he doesn't all of a sudden start leaping ahead of other members and be like, yeah, I'll be honest with you. He hopped over Eric Singer to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the video, like you said, this is not a Kiss DVD. Okay. They're not going to go through the timeline of his career. They're not going to talk about the behind the scenes of Animalize, or, what led to him singing Little Caesar on Hot in the Shade, or, when he took the makeup off and they recorded Lick It Up. You're not going to get that. Okay. That being said, like Zeus said, if you're a fan of the man, Eric Carr, as long as you know what you're getting into and what your expectations are, then I think it's worth seeing. It's just very, very unfortunate and disappointing, and it pisses me off that there's no official Kiss, anything in here. And again, I like I already said, I don't know what went into the production of this, and if that was even an option for the producers of this.
Yeah. For me, one of the things that I found, interesting is, when you watch these videos, do you learn something? Yeah, yep. I learned a lot.
Me too.
Is it something that you get bored of? Not really, because the family stuff and even the people talking are likable characters, are likable people. So you want to hear it. It's not like, good God, I'm watching a biography about a poet from the 18th century and I have to watch this video. No, it's very down to earth and the people are engaging, and I liked it. But it's very real. Eric was a very real person, and all the people talking about him are very. Look, we're not very serious on Shout It Out Loudcast very often, if at all. But this is a good DVD about a good person, somebody that we as Kiss fans really like. And I would recommend it, but just temper your expectations when you go in to see it. Yeah. So let's address the elephant in the room, and that is, how did this get done or not get done the right way? I'm going to be devil's advocate here. I got my lawyer hat on.
Yep.
I can see them wanting to do this video, and Gene and Paul and them going, well, hold on a minute. You're using our footage. You can't just use it for. We can release a DVD video of Eric Carr, and we'll happy to. No. The family's like, we don't want you releasing shit. We're going to do it. Well, then if you're going to be like that, we control our image and we don't trust what you're going to say about us. So we have artistic stuff. I want to see what you're going to say.
It's true.
And that's why it got limited. Certain things get put out there, quick little video clips. I mean, you could barely see Paul and Gene in any of this, but you could see Ace in a lot of it. And then a couple of shots. They probably saw Carmine at Pieces' hit job about not letting him in. Fuck, it's Carmine. Let's fast forward. That's nothing. Yep. Or, the after the fact on the DVD with in the insert notes, or the director says all the crap we had to put up with. Like, I bet you they didn't see it.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
This is how we're going to do it. I can somewhat see what they're talking about, because, they got to control their stuff. I know it sucks, but we control our image.
I get that. And it's interesting because on the back of the DVD at the very bottom, it says released with the permission of Eric Carr's family.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I agree with what you just said. I do. I get the legal aspect of that. But then you kind of back up a little bit and you look at what Carmine Appice said about wanting to do a video tribute for Eric, you know, and he got squashed. Like look, we know Paul and Gene. We've been fans of the band for 40 years. We know how they are. This has asshole written all over it. It really does. I understand that there's a bit,
but you gotta understand. We don't have the context of what fucking goofball Carmine Appice is coming up with. Hey, I gotta do a video, and they probably like, dude, you're not doing some half-ass video with our fucking blessing about Kiss and Eric Carr. No, we're not putting you in your second-rate opinion. If something's done, we'll do it. Who knows how that came across?
I know that. I know. I
can say to them, well, I was going to do this great DVD about Eric Carr, and Kiss said no to me. Because they probably said, who the fuck are you?
I know that. And I understand the legal aspects behind all this. Believe me, I do. But
artistic.
I get that. But there's a piece of me, and maybe I'm being a little mushy softy here, but there's a little.
Then again, they put out Kiss Exposed, so who the fuck are they to talk?
Well, there's a little piece of me too. It's like, you know what? This is a fucking member of your band who was with you for 10 years through one of the, you know, all it is a fucking biography. You assholes! They're not doing this video to shit on the band or to shit on you. They're doing it to talk about his life. You can't throw a clip in there of you guys performing the Oath. Or are you guys performing fucking Heavens on Fire?
Fucking luck getting that from them.
But what I'm
fucking no. Then Mark St. John's fucking gonna say that when Vinny dies, Vinny wants to put a clip in of him and Kiss. You know, that's what they're putting. That's why they're saying it's no to everybody. Unless you ask us for a permission and you pay for the right, you don't get it.
See, people, this is what happens when I have a fucking lawyer for a co-host. Fucking ruin everything. I get it.
There are rules, my friend. There are rules. You start doing that shit, and then you got fucking 10 members of Kiss, all of them saying, I want to produce this. Well, you let me produce this. Now Gene and Paul are dead, so why can't I perform as Kiss? You let me put videos up as Kiss, so I'm going to go out as the Tommy Thayer Kiss experience. You know, I mean, I get it. If you don't fucking box it in.
I get it.
That's why there's fucking 20 Temptation groups out there touring in 5 different variations of Rat and stupid shit like that. You know?
Believe me, I totally understand it. It doesn't mean I have to be happy about it.
I agree.
That's my only problem.
Then you know what Kiss should have done? We'll produce something for Eric, and all the proceeds will go to Eric's foundation, and we'll do it along with his family.
They would never fucking do that. Are you shitting me?
But that's what they should be doing. I'm saying.
Yeah. No, if anything, the proceeds will go to Moneybag Soda. That's all he fucking cares about.
Proceeds will go to South America and Peru to get all the cane sugar for Moneybag Soda.
Yeah, and then they'll go to my fucking Paul Stanley parachute pants. Fucking
my urban sombrero from the Peterman collection.
So anyway, it's on Amazon Prime. Check it out. Even if you don't have the DVD, and even if you're not an Amazon Prime subscriber, I think you can get it for, you know, maybe like $1.99 rental or something on Amazon. The DVD's cheap enough if you want to add it to your collection. It's worth having. But you know, I enjoyed it. It was a little bit different, and it is a little bit sad too. You know, unfortunately.
So Tom, we've reviewed. This is our 3rd DVD. Is that right?
Yes. Confidential, Second Coming, and this.
Where do you rank it?
Look,
be real, be fair.
I'm going to have to put it last, just because it's not a Kiss video. I enjoyed it.
It's worth watching, and I'll do the same thing.
Absolutely, it's worth watching. I enjoyed it, but it's not a Kiss. It's more of a, you know what it would be like? It would be like if you went on, you know, like one of those cable channels that do like you know, like a background story, like
a PBS fucking at night.
Yeah, kind of,
or a YouTube video. All of a sudden, you get like some documentary you know existed of Kiss.
Exactly.
You start watching it.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, but it's not a Kiss video. And Confidential and Second Coming are Kiss videos with concert footage and interviews, etc.
If I could keep a permanent one, I would. Fucking, this would be the last one.
Yeah.
Because now I've seen it. Is this something I'm going to view it?
Maybe not anytime soon, but
yeah.
I mean, I could see myself watching it again. Maybe put it this way: this is a video where like my wife would enjoy watching.
Yeah,
like I could
watch it with her.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone who's never seen it.
Right.
But on your own to watch it next month by yourself?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm
right. Yep.
So we recommend you guys take a look at it, see it. And, God bless Eric Carr.
Absolutely. Agreed. Yep.
So we usually go to a question after this. What do you got for us this week?
What do you got? All right.
They made a mistake in that ad.
Hey, see, they made a mistake in that ad. So before we get into questions, can I read an email that we recently got tonight?
We got one tonight. Okay.
We got one tonight at 6:00, and it's from Chris.
Is it on? Did we get one on Friday night at 8?
It will be so great. Great.
Want to be late? Friday night at 8.
So it's funny because this is from Craig Stevens, and it's funny because I thought of this today. He goes, breaking news. The latest episode of the Stuart Trunk podcast has dropped. Stuart sits down with Johnny Z, his old boss at Megaforce Records, which, by the way, is true. If you subscribe to the Eddie Trunk podcast, he interviews Johnny Z. And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, here we go. So then he goes, Stuart was Johnny's protege and will tell you all about how good he is, and he was so integral to the careers of anyone from Metallica to Ace Frehley. Listen carefully, and you might even hear Johnny get a few words in. So Craig, thank you for sharing that. That was a good one. And then we got a Facebook recommendation this week.
We'll take it
from Rick Rarer on Facebook. He says, you can't go wrong with Kiss and Jerky Boy references. So thank you, Rick. Well, thank you, Rick. We will take that recommendation. That's terrific. And as far as questions here, where are we going to go this week?
Oh, you forgot to mention.
Oh, shit.
By the way, thank you to all those guys about the Where's Drago from last week.
Oh, yeah. That was excellent. Yes.
We found out where Drago is.
Yeah.
But the other part that I wanted to bring up was we mentioned our friend from the comment section of YouTube.
Oh,
go ahead.
Oh, God. What's his name? Marty? I got to pull this up.
Marty McFly?
Marty McFly. So he, oh God, man, this was funny. This was funny because now I got to pull up the friggin' email.
Oh yeah. So he was the one that was commenting on all our YouTube clips, and he called us twat waffles or something.
Yeah. We talked about him. We talked about him during last week's episode. We didn't mention him by name, but we were talking about how, there's a new guy out there who's listened to all our episodes, and he comments on all of them, and he's shitting on us and calling us twat waffles and all this shit. So he sends us an email, and he talks about where Drago is and everything, and he said, sorry about calling you guys morons. He goes, I didn't get your groove, and the show seemed like chaos, but I've listened to most of your episodes.
Thanks.
He goes, but I've listened to most episodes, and I have come to really enjoy the show, but I still stand by one thing. You guys sound like Car Talk, which apparently is a podcast that I've heard other people talk about too. It's about two guys talking about cars. So now I got to hear this one because I don't know what the fuck Car Talk is.
I heard that was somebody else had told us that. Remember?
Yeah,
that we sound like that, and the other people said that's a compliment. I'm like, it's a compliment. I don't know what the fuck they are.
I'll take it.
But did you see this other one here?
Email.
This is an email that we got on Sunday.
Okay.
The disclaimer on a Kiss Facebook group. Kiss Facebook group. Apparently this one is do you have thick skin? We asked this because if you get butt hurt easily, this page is not for you. This group is not exclusive to just Kiss. We discuss all bands and genres. Is this something you're interested in? This group consists of mainly Ace fans and not so much Tommy Thayer fans. Are you okay with this? If not, this page may not be for you. So this was an email we got from Lamar Page. The disclaimer on a Kiss Facebook group. Also, Zeus, I do a mean Gene impression. Fuck Craig Gass. I am Gene 2.0. I love to read out a sketch you've made for you. I mean, I think he's saying I've made for you guys.
Yeah.
If there's anything as good as your Ace impersonation, spot on, we got a hit. Let me know.
Oh,
all right,
Jesus
Lamar.
Christ.
So what you need to do is you need to do a voice memo or something.
Yeah.
Or do a clip of it.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear it. Send it to our email.
Yeah.
If it's as good as you say,
play it.
We might play it. Or we might have you on and we'll just do a running skit where Tom can do Bill Clinton and I'll do Ace and you can do Gene.
You realize what we're opening ourselves up to now.
We're a comedy bit now.
I was just going to say that. It's like fucking Saturday Night Live, shout it out Loudcast style. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, all right. So
fireplace, bitch.
Okay. So where are we? Questions?
We just finished, didn't we?
No, I didn't even. I didn't even ask when we were reading our comments.
I'm fucking senile, dude.
All right, I got a quick one from our friend Heavy Mayo.
Oh no!
Yes,
started. I just saw a bunch of shit hit him and his fiance were going back and forth about buying products from our buddy Ed at Click Tea Shop.
Yeah, because Ed's posting things about the big coffee mugs. So fucking go get.
Yeah, and you were telling everybody to buy their fucking Shout It Out Loudcast mug.
Like I said, the best part of waking up is Tom and Zeus in your cup.
What are we gonna do in their cup? Jizz in their cup? I'm gonna dance all over their cup.
All right. So he says, if social media had been around in the 70s, how would each successive Kiss album have evolved if Paul had real-time criticism? Ooh, that's good. I like that one.
Well, remember now, Destroyer was not very well liked until Beth took over.
Right.
So maybe they already started really going right at it with Rock and Roll Over.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, it seemed like it was kind of organic back then because his mind's like, oh, we got to go back to what we were doing in the first three albums. And that's why Rock and Roll Over is kind of stripped down.
But I don't know. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Changed, right?
No, you're right, but I think what he's getting at, and I think it would be interesting. So we all know how unbelievably toxic and awful Facebook and Twitter can be. So picture right now, 2020, Destroyer gets released, and Paul Stanley goes on his Twitter page, oh, Destroyer released, let us know what you think, and everyone's like, this fucking album sucks. What the fuck is Great Expectations? This is horseshit. And all of a sudden, Paul's gonna be like, oh shit, maybe they're right.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
With the amount of fucking shit Paul Stanley gets, he gets that way worse now. You said, well, then Paul Stanley goes on his Facebook account or Twitter account. Dude, all day, I would say Paul Stanley gets 3/4 of the shit about Paul Stanley are all negative.
But it's different now because he doesn't care. He's in his 70s. He could give two fucks what me and you think. Back then in the 70s when they were in their prime.
Oh, he'd kill himself.
Right. Jesus Christ. I don't know if he would have fucking killed himself. Gee.
He was a depressed fucking baby back then. You know that.
Stanley the Parrot?
I thought you were going to say the other one.
What, the one-eared monster?
Yeah. He's probably going to be fucking pissed off. And fucking go F himself, you know? I mean, what the fuck's he going to do? I don't know. Kissing the social media, I think it would hurt the band because the aura and that stuff goes around was word of mouth, and maybe you'd see a TV show about them.
Yeah.
If they were fucking everywhere, then the mystique of it wouldn't be as big.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with that. Well, so what? So you think if some of those toxic face groups, the way they shit on the band today, if they were around in the 70s?
Yeah. If Paul Stanley was around in the 70s, oh my God.
Hashtagging fucking
live to win.
Oh, I'm so glad he's back on Facebook. Welcome back, Paul Stanley. Good stuff.
All right. So you guys can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, all the other podcast areas you can find podcasts. You can find us on YouTube. Email us at shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Obviously, if it's any good, we will read it out loud. And we appreciate all the emails that we get. Interact with us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And please, again, we ask people to give us reviews on podchaser.com and especially like iTunes.com. That helps other people find us. Go to iTunes, find our podcast, rate and review. 5-star child for Shout It Out Loudcast. It'll be huge. Would greatly appreciate it. And certainly read it on the air. Tom, anything else you want to add about where people can find us and stuff?
Yeah, don't forget to check us out at Pantheon Podcast, the website there, because you'll find us, all our information, all the other podcast platforms that we're available, along with all the other awesome shows that we're associated with that you should check out for sure. And keep those reviews and recommendations and emails and comments coming. We love them. As you can see, we read them whenever we get them. They're a lot of fun to read, and we have a good time with them and laugh. And keep those coming.
Yeah, and then finally, there's also, please, you can always find any of our merch with our good buddy Ed on clicktshop.com, clicktshop.com. Shout It Out Loudcast merchandise, and more importantly, awesome Kiss-related merchandise. Take a look. Ed's got a fucking plethora of fun stuff there. He's got new stuff coming out all the time. Go to his website, pick out something you like, and tell him we sent you.
Yep.
So, famous last words.
You've been branded by the iron. You've been cut by the knife. There's a monkey on your back running up and down your spine.
Ooh.
Ooh, god damn.
Lick my balls. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, god damn, you biting and shit.
Ooh, you even cuted in your baby pitches.
So here I am. Do you want me now? Just show me where, and I'll show you how.
Excellent as always.
Guys, till next week, Tommy, thank you. Kiss Army, thank you.
Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate it, and we will see you next week. Thank you.
Peace out, Girl Scout.